Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of This or That. I am Jatt, joined by Kobe. This is the portion of the episode where I usually say something clever, but I have nothing today. I am not a creative person. No,
nothing?
I have better socks.
Not even like
than
a
you.
knock knock.
They're
Who's
gold
there?
toed. Your
Jatt
socks
and
are not
Kobe.
gold toed. Therefore, my.
Oh, going to the socks now? Bringing attention to the socks?
You can't bring it up. Anyway, we have 6 slides today for This or That. We've never seen these slides before. We're going to get into it right now and pick this or that. It's a very, I heard 6. Okay. We'll see if they slip one in on us.
Bring up number 1 then.
Number 1, Counter Logic Gaming, a finalist team or a semi-finalist team. This split.
Ooh.
So the thing is, they haven't even clinched a playoff spot yet.
Exactly.
They're most likely in it. A bunch of crazy scenarios have to go down for them not to make playoffs. But essentially, I see them as what, a 4 seed, a 5 seed?
Yeah.
Maybe 6?
I feel like this one is definitely reaching. Yes, this is a team that has had huge comebacks. You know, they generally have had an upswing at the end of the split. They are improving. The meta is also seems to be going in their favor right now. However, I feel like that one is reaching a little bit far. Semifinals, I feel like it's the proper amount of projected rise for the team. So I'm gonna go with that.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. The thing with COG is we don't really know what type of team they're going to be. Are they that team that actually can turn it on during playoffs and can pull from their wealth of experience? I tend to think no, because they've actually felt like they've had very real struggles, and even their wins now are not very easy. So I think semi-finalist team is the high percentage chance. But if they get the 6th seed or something, you have to play Phoenix 1 in
Are you
round
gonna do this or that or neither?
Or the other thing, right? Which would be a quarterfinalist team. But I think semi-finalist team is the odds-on thing, unless they're this crazy team that can actually turn it on.
I think the meta definitely shifting well for them. I like Smithy's play recently a lot. Gragas is always good for him. And then obviously the bottom lane stuff.
A lot of things going right for COG. We both say that. Time to go on to slide number 2, which is better comeback / reverse sweep from series. This was last week's Roccat.
Oh no.
Or TSM over FlyQuest.
Oh, this one was so sad for me because Reckless has been posting about, his emotional state, and obviously, losing like that is definitely hard on you.
Yeah.
And you feel bad for them. You got to be happy for the Roccat guys, but
both of these guys, I mean, so the sadder thing is both of these were sad for some people. Like Reckless is having issues. I think Hyde tweeted something about maybe being depressed. Like these guys are not doing great because their teams are doing great. Well, it's a sad slide. But you look at the positives. The Roccat is going towards playoffs, but TSM is 14-2. This was a more dynamic series.
So for me, I'm gonna say that I think the upswing for Roccat having their reverse sweep was a better story than the TSM one, because TSM has this, they keep on losing the first game and they keep getting away with it, and everybody's kind of fed up with it now. Even the TSM members are like, all right, we're gonna not underestimate them. We're gonna come out swinging in game number 1, and they still keep dropping it. So I feel like
you're gonna say this.
I feel like that one is better, even though it's so.
I'm gonna say that only because this is like a number 1 team somewhere in here, and the rest of the reasons won't matter because people will just say I'm saying it because TSM Jatt. So we're gonna move on from that one.
True.
Yeah, so it doesn't actually matter what I say. Slide number 3, I say that. Kobe says this: better AD carry, Ezreal or Caitlyn?
This is actually a super interesting one.
Yeah. Better in this meta.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a really big fan of Ezreal for Ezreal players, like Bang, for instance. They can have super high highs. They have a really good mid-game power spike. Caitlyn, to me, is the Nunu of AD carries, basically. She's just gonna shove you in lane. She's gonna get her early.
Very one-dimensional in that sense.
Exactly, one-dimensional. It doesn't take a lot of flashy skills or accuracy.
So I actually think Caitlyn has a lot of mechanical outplays with the way you can trap and work in your headshots between your combos.
But she doesn't need that to be able to push in the lanes right now. So I'm gonna go with Ezreal. What do you got, Jatt?
I think Ezreal. I see more hard carry Ezreal games, and I think Caitlyn is a strong pick in specific situations, but you almost kind of comp around Caitlyn for it to be effective. Whereas Ezreal, you can comp around Ezreal and be effective, or you can just pick Ezreal with anything. And in the current iteration, as far as being good at Ezreal, with Trinity Force, Blade of the Rune King, Muramana, it's just a good build.
As the rest of the team, you just be like, all right, he's Ezreal. We'll leave him by himself.
We'll do whatever we want.
Support goes roam, jungle goes somewhere else. Yeah, I think so as well.
The versatility Ezreal
You can have cool headshot combos with Caitlyn, but that's about it.
Next slide. I think we got 3 left. We've done 3. Who would win, TSM or UOL?
Ooh, this is a spicy one.
Yeah, because you know this is potentially going to happen in the future if these teams make MSI.
Most recent UOL performance, I was super impressed. Vizichachi especially, top lane, definitely looks beast for them right now.
Yeah.
So there are definitely a lot of things that go with the positives for this. Plus, anytime I see these two teams together, I think back to IEM, Twisted Fate Jungle, I believe it was, ganking Bjergsen.
Anytime
those
the teams
types of
play,
things,
almost no matter what's happening going into it, UOL has smashed
fun.
them. I think UOL is undefeated internationally against TSM. They played twice at IEM, undefeated internationally in the small sample size we've seen.
Yeah.
But just based on, this is a spicy slide, because no matter what you say, there will be a fan base that is mad at you. So right now, I'm going to say TSM because I feel like they're turning it on despite UOL being first place in their group. TSM's coming across in a lot of different ways. UOL is still kind of crazy. I feel like there's a lot of stuff going on, especially in the mid to bottom tier of Europe right now, that may be inflating their record higher than it should be.
True.
No matter what you say here, people will
stop counting your stuff. Okay.
Yeah. TSM!
I think it also depends on what type of game they're playing. Is this a best of 1? Then I'm gonna go with Unicorns of Love.
Exactly.
Is it a best of 3 or 5? Then maybe I go more towards CSM side.
Unicorns of Love comes out very well with their unique strategies, and they punch you in the mouth.
But there could always be one of those bar tunnels, magical journeys, and you're just like,
Yeah, that's a good question. I actually hope we get to see this matchup.
I really want to see the matchup. I'm gonna go with Unicorns of Love just because
safe. There's enough people.
Now we covered both.
Yeah, we did it. We're
see, everybody's got someone.
We're gonna get to the next slide right here. Team Liquid, better with Doublelift and Adrian, or better without Doublelift and Adrian? Well, if there's 3 players, then clearly you're going to be better with a 5-man team.
In last place with either of them? Is that
the only team they've beaten with Doublelift so far is Envy, right? Yeah. But without Doublelift, they lost to Envy. So currently, I'm gonna stay there still better with Doublelift and Adrian. What I actually feel like is bringing this team down recently is Piglet's mid lane. It started out well, but that has not been an effective swap in any way, shape, or form. So if it's these 3 with Piglet mid lane, and like, who would be that?
No,
Are we talking
I was waiting for you to
version?
finish, because the funniest part about this slide to me is that it looks to me like, is it better with just 3 players, or is it better with adding Doublelift and Adrian? So I'm gonna take the slide as that and go with this instead.
Yeah.
Because literally what it says is better as a 3-person team?
Yeah.
I don't think so, Jack.
Generally never. I feel like we played enough 4v5s, the rare 3v5. You see the 4v5 wins, you don't see the 3v5 wins. We're going with this, but even if you're comparing it with the other guys, I think it's better with this one.
Honestly, it is surprising that they haven't had a big impact with those guys coming in.
Yeah, that's been rough for Team Liquid. Just keep throwing money at it, eventually it'll be fixed. Harder to kill. Impact on Nautilus or Monty Python Black Knight. So are we saying that Impact just like loses limbs and is rolling towards the team?
I have seen this.
If you haven't looked that up, he loses every limb.
He ends up on the ground with no limbs.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I'm a little stunned by this question.
I'm gonna go with the Monty Python reference because I'm a huge fan of Monty Python, and Nautilus is kind of in a similar tier to me as Caitlyn, in that you don't have to do a whole lot to be hard to kill. You're pretty good at laning phase and just get a lot of money and get tanky items and press your shield.
I'm going with Impact on Nautilus being harder to kill. If you watch that clip, that guy doesn't know how to fight at all. He just gets hit every time and
the question is
weaker.
Harder to kill. You don't have to be able to fight back as long as he's hard to kill. That guy was hard to kill.
If you're getting your arm chopped off, every swing, you're easy to kill. Impact knows how to fight back. It's this, Kobe. Use your head.
You're easy to hurt.
Do we have another slide? Usually the last one is the joke slide. I've lost count during the duration of this episode. That was the joke slide.
We're done.
That means we're done.
All right.
We have some plugs. Listen to The Dive. It's a podcast with me, Kobe, and Azael. It comes out Thursdays around 3 p.m. Pacific time for US time for European viewers. Maybe around midnight, so you watch in the morning or something.
What's our other plug? You said we have multiple plugs.
Yeah. NALCS is on.
Follow me on Twitter.
Follow Kobe on Twitter. We have Instagrams that we rarely post on, but you should definitely follow them for when we do post on them.
And our long outro is done.
Is it?